Good evening, I'm Emma Jane Vere and this is Television Tonga News. In the headlines, the Crown Prince, the Speaker and members of the House welcomed the Mate Maatonga team to the Kingdom. The Japanese Embassy in Tonga pays special attention to primary school students with special needs under an inclusive education program. And Tonga will be represented in China at the 10th anniversary of the UNESCO Convention for Safeguarding of Intangible Cultural Heritage. These and more stories, including news from the Pacific, sports, world and the weather information, later on in this bulletin. Let's take a look at the news in detail. His Royal Highness Crown Prince Tupotoa Ulukalala was at the Parliament House today with the Speaker of the House, Lord Whakawhanua, and the Members of Parliament to welcome the National Rugby League team, Mate Maatonga. The team arrived at Whamotu International Airport early this morning. Here's Fatai Whaingaa with more on that story.
His Royal Highness Crown Prince Tupotoa Ulukalala was at the Legislative Assembly to welcome the Mate Maatonga team. The Speaker of the House, Lord Whakawhanua, and fellow parliamentarians were also at Parliament House wearing red to show their support of Tonga's national rugby team. The team was introduced to the Speaker and the rest of the members of Parliament. In a speech from the acting Prime Minister Sami Vaipolo, he says they are optimistic of the team's performance in the upcoming Rugby League World Cup.
We may be small, we may not be many, but we have the heart. We have the courage, and we have the will to win. Today, His Majesty and the people of Tonga is here to give you all the support and our trust that the games you'll be playing, we must win it.
Meanwhile, the Speaker of the House, Lord Whakawhanua, spoke of Rugby League's history in Tonga. Rugby team was first introduced to Tonga in 1986. The first president was Noble Fustoa. It was a new sport which was difficult to teach the rules to the people. In the Rugby League World Cup in 1988, Tonga was qualified to the 1995 Games. Tonga played such a good game, even New Zealand was scared of our team. It was such a historical moment for Tonga, which people are still talking about up to now. The Honourable Minister of Internal Affairs presented a gift to the Mate Maatonga team.
I give thanks to our coach, Charlie, Thank God for him because he's the reason I come to play for Tonga. When he told me that he wants to play in God's honour, that was enough for me to come and play and represent the country that I've been brought up to love. And the Reverend there, I think they're teaching the boys some really good things here about our culture and our proud history and our Christian history. And I think, we're borrowing from the coat of arms in our motto, and, God and Tonga is our inheritance too. My team this is the best team ever assembled to represent this little nation. I'm very proud to go and play with them. My mum said that we have to be like the proverb, old Tongan proverb, ala isia, ala I kolonga. Thank you. So they're the best. They're the best at what they do, and as I said, they're the best team we've ever put together, and we're so proud to run out and represent this country.
The Mate Matonga team departs Tonga next Monday for the Rugby League World Cup in the UK. For Television Tonga News, I'm Fatai Whainga.
The Prime Minister, Lord Duvano, is expected to return back home next Wednesday, October 16th. The Acting Chief Secretary and Secretary to Cabinet, Aholotu Palo, has confirmed that the Prime Minister, Lord Duvano, is expected to arrive in Auckland this Friday, October 11th, on his way back to Tonga. The Prime Minister and his delegation departed New York last weekend after Lord Duvano received medical treatment. This followed the conclusion of the United Nations General Assembly high-level meetings. Tongan missions in the United States have provided an overwhelming outpour of support in view of Lord Duvano's remarkable stewardship and landmark achievements made on behalf of the region this year during the high-level meetings of the 68th session of the United Nations General Assembly. The Prime Minister was also greeted by members of the Tongan community in San Francisco on his way back to Tonga. The Japanese government continues to contribute to Tonga's development through its education sector. Special attention is made to primary school students under the Education Ministry's Inclusive Education Program. This program includes students with special needs. This morning, the Japanese Embassy in Tonga marked the handover of assistance worth more than 100,000 pa'anga to the Ngele'ia Government Primary School. Sinilatu was there and filed this report.
Despite the heavy rain, the teachers, students, their parents and ex-students celebrated the generous contribution from the Japanese government. Japan's ambassador to Tonga, Dr. Kazujika Hamuro, marked the completion of construction work made at Ngele'ia Government Primary School. The guest of honor says they aim to address difficulties faced by the local communities.
The government of Japan is well aware of the conditions and difficulties faced by the local communities and their will and efforts to improve their daily lives. Therefore, GGP aims at addressing such priority needs relating to our daily lives, such as education, water, and primary health. I would like to take a few moments to reiterate the most important thing. None of us should be excluded from the process of development in order to achieve a just and equitable society, the ideal of the Kingdom Tonga. The process of development should be inclusive, and education is a must-have tool for anyone to meet their own aspirations in life.
The Minister of Education and Training, Dr. Ana Tauwhe'ulungaki, presented a gift to the Japanese ambassador as a token of appreciation.
This morning I am, for one, most grateful that it is one of Tonga's most vulnerable groups of children who will benefit, our inclusive education students. As you may be aware, the Ministry is making attempts to ensure that every school-aged child has access to quality, relevant and sustainable education. In the new education bill, which is now before the House, the Ministry has the responsibility to ensure that children with special needs are fully accommodated within the formal education system. An inclusive education policy has been drafted and is now being finalized. In the same bill, compulsory education is proposed to be expanded to be inclusive of age 4 to 18. And children with special needs in this age group have the same entitlements to quality education as other children. However, while these developments are encouraging and augur well for education in Tonga and for all children,
the Acting Secretary for the Ministry of Finance and National Planning, Natalia Latu, explained about the assistance. There are 445 students in this school, which includes 21 students who are children with disabilities under the Inclusive Education Program. The program comes under Japan's grant to the Grassroots Development Program. For Television Tonga News, I'm Sinilatu.
From the Supreme Court, a land case between the plaintiff, Fuka Kiteke Aho, and the first defendant, Saya Moihau, the second defendant, Nolene Blake, and the third defendant, the Minister of Land Survey, Climate Change and Natural Resources, has been dismissed. The decision was made as the second and third defendants were unaware of the claims and information made by the plaintiff. Fuka Kiteke Aho is the owner of a 1,518 square metre land allotment located at Anana, which he had leased to Saya Moihau. In his claim, he had asked the Lands Minister to cancel the lease of his land allotment to Moihau. Tonga will be represented in the commemoration of the 10th anniversary of the UNESCO Convention for Safeguarding of Intangible Cultural Heritage. This will be held in China. A mini exhibition of traditional Tongan items was displayed today at the Ministry of Commerce, Tourism and Labour, and will also be displayed in the exhibition, which is from the 17th to the 20th of this month in China. Here's Linda Filiai with the details.
A mini exhibition was held this afternoon at the Ministry of Commerce, Tourism and Labour. These are the local Tongan handicraft that will be displayed at an expo in China for the UNESCO Convention for Safeguarding of Intangible Cultural Heritage. Tonga's team to China were led by Pensimani Fifita from the Ministry of Internal Affairs and 4 other exhibitors. In a speech from the Ministry of Internal Affairs Cultural Division Deputy Director, Pulupaki Moala, this is a great opportunity to promote the kingdom.
This is an opportunity for us to promote the knowledge that inherited by the people here in Tonga from these generations to the next generations. And there are ways and strategies that has been presented in the presentation today in terms of website, the technology, the information that has been transmitted through various networks. But you have witnessed today that the Tongans use the local product to promote handicraft, and we will exhibit it.
She says Tonga became a member of the Convention for Safeguarding of Intangible Cultural Heritage after signing in 2010.
The purpose of this convention to safeguard intangible cultural heritage, to ensure we respect by the communities, groups and individual concern, and to raise awareness locally, internationally of the intangible cultural heritage.
The Minister of Education and Training, Dr. Ana Tauwhe'ulungaki, the Chinese ambassador to Tonga, and other guests were at the mini exhibition. The Tongan delegation will also attend a workshop on intangible cultural heritage during the expo. Tonga's team will leave Tonga on October 14. For Television Tonga News, I'm Linda Filiai.
Residents in the Ma'whanga district are making an extra effort to keep their community clean. Families were encouraged to keep their homes and surrounding areas clean, healthy and attractive, while regular town inspections were held over the past 2 months. Anasiu Falekauno has more on that story.
The Ma'whanga Town Officer, Aloy Taisi Takao, says the initiative is made as Ma'whanga is the closest town to the harbour where cruise ships dock, making it the first village for tourists to visit. I am encouraging the residents of Lord Whakawhanui's estate to keep our town clean and to remember when tourists arrive to the kingdom, Ma'whanga is the first village they will visit. Foreign investors and importers also come to Tonga to sell their products. The drive will also benefit our families living in a clean and healthy environment. One Ma'whanga resident who took part in the drive, Winnie Lelenoa, told Television Tonga News that she supports the drive as it's important to maintain a clean environment. When an area is clean and healthy, it makes you like staying there. I also want to adopt this good behavior so good visitors and family coming to my town and my home will follow suit. Cash prizes were awarded for the competition in which Gardenia Molitika won the first prize. Regular inspections was made on the best flower gardens, fruit trees and vegetable gardens and crops. The Ma'whanga Town officer says similar programs will be held in the future. For Television Tonga News, I am Anasiu Falekauno.
Many people in Tontapu and the Outer Islands, namely Hapai, are showing their full support of the National Rugby League team by wearing red, which is the primary colour of the team. Many fans and supporters were seen wearing red today after the Mate Maʻatonga team touched down in the kingdom early this morning. Here's Whanonga Veikoso with the details.
Many fans were seen wearing red, dancing and celebrating the arrival of our national rugby team, Mate Maʻatonga, to the kingdom. Some secondary and tertiary students were also wearing red today, as well as staff in various workplaces. Banners and red flags are also seen in town to welcome and show support for the national rugby team. Our correspondent in Pangai Hapai, Moimoi Frahoa, says many people on the island, including primary school students and youth groups, also wore red to show their support. The Television Tonga News crew went to town to see what people had to say about the Mate Maʻatonga team. I fully support the Mate Maʻatonga team, for they are Tongans just like us. And we are so thankful they want to represent us. Seeing these boys representing Tonga makes us want to support them even more. There are other events lined up while the Mate Maʻatonga team are in the kingdom, including a float parade this Saturday. Whanonga Veikoso for Television Tonga News.
That's the local news. Pacific is next.